Thank you very much. Good morning, everybody. Okay, one second. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Good morning, everybody. Let's continue our discussion from last time. We started looking at the methods of managing traffic in a broadband network, and we said that the first with is the scheduling. So the first technique to manage its traffic again in a broadband networks is defining as a scheduler. We scheduling mechanism, for example, the first come, first serve. We looked at what last come. We also looked at priority queuing. And in a minute we will look at what is known as what GPS stands for, generalized processor sharing, which is the ideal. This one is the what is known as ideal fluid flow. When I say ideal fluid flow, what does it mean? I cannot implement it, as you will see in just a second. We try just to what? Emulate this. And then we will look at what is known as fair queuing and weighted fair queuing. Fair queuing and weighted. Now, before we get into the details of all of these things, let me show you one thing, what is known as Kleinrock conservation law. I need you to understand the very in traffic management, Kleinrock conservation law. He says the following. He said the following. It is one of the original inventors, if you would like, of the internet. He is a professor at UCLA. We don't care about UCLA, but we have to acknowledge that he's there. Okay, so Kleinrock conservation law. If what he is basically is no free lunch. So if some packets are going because of, for example, their priority, that will come at the expense of other packets. It's not like everyone will get what? Faster service, or everyone will get slower. One will get with the other. If you gain something from here, you will what? Suffer something from here. So let's see what the server is work conserving. Work conserving means what? As long as what? As long as a packet waiting for service, the server will be what? Busy. That is called conserving type server. Work conserving, again, as long as there is a packet in the system, the server will be working. Are you following? Will be working. So this is the first thing. And second, service time are independent on policies. What does a service time is independent on scheduling policies? Regardless of what? What is the scheduling mechanism? With scheduling mechanism, the service time has nothing to do with it. Are you following me now? In other words, in here, serving the first packet that comes, the service time has nothing to do with that fact. If you are serving the last, then the service time has nothing to do with that. Clear? The service time is independent on the, what? On the scheduling process. Clear? On the scheduling policies. And finally, service is non-preemptive, or preemptive resume only for exponential service times. Only for exponential service times. Let me explain by this. When I say service is non-preemptive, what does it mean? If a server is serving a packet of a higher priority, you are not going to what? Preempt it. You are this. Or preemptive resume. Preemptive resume is what? Like I showed you last time. Let's see the resume. This is the preemptive resume. What? When a packet of a higher priority come, or depending on the policy. For example, last company to what? Preempt the service and then what? Continue. Resume. But only if what? Only if the service time exponentials. The reason that it's only exponentials because exponentials have what? The memoryless property. Then he found that the weighted sum of the average waiting time is what? Is constant, independent of scheduling. I'll explain to you what I mean by the weighted sum of the average waiting time of the scheduling. I'll show you this. Let's see. Let's understand what he's saying. Example. Consider an MG1 general service, okay, with K priorities. There is K priorities. In other words, the packets, there are K priorities for the packet. What is E? Let's see if you remember this. E of U. E of U is the what? Is the work left. What is the average work left? Remember from the diagrams I showed you last time? I designated by EU of T. I'm trying the average U of T. Average U of T. Average work left. What is it equal to? What is the average work left? First of all, it's E of what? R is what? Which is the average residual time. Yes? Plus what? Let's see if you can tell me plus what. This is the average work left. The average work you need. Remember this in MG1, which means what? We have a single server. We have a single server. Server needs to what? That the packet being served needs to, and then what? All the packets in the system needs to be what? Regardless of their what? Regardless of their priorities. One more time. What is the average work left? How much work is left for what? For the server. The server is what? It's conserving. Which means what? As long as the buffer is not empty, the server is what? Is working. Yes? What is it? I'm still waiting here. I'm not sure. Did you get the idea what we are calculating here? The average amount of work left for who? For the server. What does he need to do? He needs to serve the packet that is already in service. That's the residual time. Yes, the average residual time. What else does he need to serve? What else does he need to serve? He needs to serve all the packets in the what? Regardless of their what? Of their priority. He needs to serve all of them. What is it? What is the average number? What is the average number of the system? What is the average number of packets waiting? Not in the system. One of them is being served. J equal to what? 1 to K, lambda J, times what? E of what? WJ, E, S of what? J. You didn't get it. Okay, what is this summation here? J equal to 1 to what? K. What is this? What am I? Over all classes, of all priorities. Yes? What is? Lambda J is the average arrival rate of which class? Of which priority? Priority, yes? What is E of WJ? E of WJ is the average waiting time of this packet, of this class, sorry, And what is E of Sj? E of Sj, service time for these packets. What is this, by the way? Just E of Wj. Can you tell me what is this? Just this one. By Little's theorem. What? This is E of what? J. What is E of Nj? E of N, sorry, N, what is E of NWJ? This is the average number of packets of class what? J, what? In the queue. Yes? And what is this? This is how long on the average it will take serve. Yes? Now what is this? Lambda J times E of Sj. What is lambda J? J. In other words, E of U equal to what? E of R plus what? Summation J equal to what? 1 to K. What is lambda of Sj? That's rho times what? Clear? This one is what? The server utilization of which class? Clear? Clear? Okay. Now, is this dependent on the scheduling policy? E of U. E of U is the amount left, the average amount of work left. Does it depend on the scheduling policy? Does it depend whether it's first come, first serve, or last come, first serve, or priority? Does it depend on that or not? It does not. This is the average amount of work left. What difference does serve first or this is the average amount of work left. The server has to serve. It's a what? Work conserving server. As long as there are packets in the system, the server needs to be what? Working. Independent on what? On policy. How about this one? E of R. Now remember, we said the assumption that the service is what? Non-preemptive, or if it is preemptive, it's preemptive resume only for exponential. Clear? What is this? Does it depend on the service? Sorry, does it depend on the scheduling policy? This one also does not depend on what? One more time. Do you see why this one does not depend on the scheduling policy? Do you understand what scheduling policy means? First come, first serve, priority, round robin, and so on and so forth. Does this one depend on the scheduling policy? We are is what? Is non-preemptive or what? Preemptive, but preemptive resume, but what? Exponential means what? It's memoryless. Are you following me or not? Yes? So this one does not depend on policy. This one does not depend on the scheduling policy. What does that tell you about this term? What does it tell you about this term? If this one does not depend on the scheduling policy, this one does not depend on the scheduling policy, what does it tell you about this term? This term must also on the scheduling policy. Did you understand what I just said? Yes or no? Which means what? It means what? Of rho J, E, W, J, J equal to 1 to K must be a what? This is a constant. Independent on what? Clear? Clear? Listen to what this means, by the way. This is what I meant by what? The weighted sum. The weighted sum. Read this statement. The weighted sum of the average waiting time. Average waiting time. And I am what? Weighting it by what? By rho of J. This sum of the average waiting time is what? Constant. Are you following me on that? What if some packets of a certain class is going to weight what? Less? It implies some other packets will weight what? Longer. The weighted sum of the average waiting time is going to be what? Constant on that. So if some packets will be waiting on the that should come on the expense of who? Some packets which will be waiting on the average long is what? It's constant. Clear? Yes or no? That's what he called it in his paper. He called it what? There is no free lunch. There is no free lunch. If some packets will get a lower, I wanted to see this you last time, but I will review it today. Did I show you this last time? Yes? Delays. Do you see some packets will not be delayed? Some packet will be what? Are you following on that? But what is the total average? Look at the total average. 1.3, yes? Another scheduling mechanism. What is the total average? 1.3. This is another, which is what? The priority. The head of line means what? The priority. What is the average? But do you see the point? The point that I'm trying to make is that regardless of the policies, the weighted what? The weighted sum. Average waiting time. The weighted sum of these are the weights. The weighted sum of the average weight is constant. Clear? What is that constant? What is that constant equal to? What is that constant equal to? It's right. What is it equal to? Now, if it does not depend on the scheduling policy, if it does not depend on policy, he says what? Assume first MG1 with first come, first serve. Why? Why assume that it's what? First come, first serve. Because that is the simplest one to do. Are you following on that? I don't need to worry about it because there is only what? One class. First come, first serve means what? One class. What is E of U? What is E of U? What is the average amount? It's E of R, which is the what? Which is the average residual time. Let's see if you can tell me. What is this? What is this? Times what? E of what? W. You notice there is no subscript. Why? There is only one class. Are you following me on that? Yes? What is E of W? We found this earlier. E of W was equal to what? E of R over rho. Do you remember this equation before? We derived this one before. Yes? E of U is this E of U. E of R is this E of R. Which means this must be equal to what? This is the C. Yes or no? Which means what? What is E is equal to what? Rho E of R divided by what? 1. Or it's equal to what? Rho times what? Lambda. E of this is the mean square of the time, of the service time, divided by what? 2 times what? Clear? Clear? Did you understand where this came from? We derived this one earlier. E of R was equal to what? Lambda E of what? Over 2. So one more time. What did he say? He said that the sum of the average waiting time is equal to what? Constant. Regardless of what? Regardless we are using. Regardless of the policy. The scheduling, it's what? Whether it's first come, first serve, last come, first serve, and so on and so forth. He said that it's constant. That constant, he found it to be equal to what? This one, which is what? Rho E of what? 1 minus rho. How did he get this? He said, since it does not depend on the policy, let's take the what? The simplest policy is what? MG1, yes, with no what? No priority class. So there is no what? There is no summation here. There is no subscript in here. Clear? This is rho. By the way, where did this rho actually is what? Is lambda times what? E of S. Land E of W. What is land E of W? Land of E of W is what? Is the average number waiting in the system, in the queue for service, waiting for service. Yes? There is only what? One class. So this is this one. Clear? Clear? And that again explains to you why in all of these scheduling policies up with the same what? With the same average what? Average waiting time. Some of the packets will be what? Waiting less. It will be what? Waiting what? Long. The weighted sum of the average waiting time is what? It's the same. Are you following or not? It's the same. Well, what? If you get some advantage, it's on the what? On what? The others will get what? Will get disadvantage. Clear? You are not going to get what advantage without others getting. Oh, we don't want people to get advantage. We don't want packets to get advantage of other packets. Yes? So what did we came up with? We came up with a maximum share allocation algorithm, which I explained to you last time. I don't want to repeat it again. Let's look just at the bullets. What is the following? Is that we do have a given bandwidth. We are going to allocate the bandwidth in increasing demand. An order of increasing demand means what? Beginning from the one that is what? Requesting the least, the one that is requesting the what? The most. Clear? That's what it means by increasing demand. Is what? No source, or the other bullet, no source will get more bandwidth than what it desires. Are you following me on that? Capacity. First of all, we have a given bandwidth or a given capacity. We are going to divide among n users or n flows. Are you following me on that? Not going to give what? A bandwidth to a resource or to a flow more than what he is what? Asking. Sources that with unsatisfied, then I'm going to give them what? Equal share of the bandwidth. So we started looking at a very simple example. Let's review it very quickly. Okay, this is their allocation. What is the bandwidth demand? 2, 2.6, 4, and 5. So the first flow, 2. Second one, 2.6. Third one is asking for 4. Fourth one is asking for what? 5. Now, all of them are all of the same weight. The algorithm does not tell you that they have to be of the same weight. Are you following me on that? Angelos and Nacho will give you example of different weights. Clear? Different weight on Friday. I'm using this one, same weight, because I always go for the easy stuff. I leave the hard part to them. Are you following? That's their responsibility. So what am I going? How much is the capacity total? 10. Yes? What? First of all, I divide 10 by what? 4. Yes? Which means what? There are 4, I divide 10 by 4. 10 by 4 is what? 2.5. But the first one is only asking for what? 2. I will give him, remember, the second bullet tells you what? Do not give any flow or asking. So I give him 2. How much is remaining? 8. I divide 8 by what? 3. Because there are 3. Yes? The second one is asking for how much? 2.6. 2.6 is less than 8. 3 is what? 2.666 something. So I will give him only what? 2.6. Whatever he is asking. Both of them are satisfied. How much remaining? 5.4. I divide 5.4 by what? The third flow is asking for how much? 4. Are you following me on that? Can I satisfy him? No, I will give him what? 2.7. How much is remaining? 5.4, 2.7 is what? 2.7. Fourth flow, and I ended up with what? 0 capacity left. Yes? Yes or no? Get 2. How much does this one get? 2.6. How much this one get? 2.7. Did you get this or not? That is the best you could do. That is the best you could do. That's why we call it what? The max minimum fair. Yes? Yeah. See, the thing is that you realize that if you sum all of them, more than what? 10. Which means what? You know for sure that some flows will not be what? Satisfied. Are you following me? Notice, by the way, if you take this 10 and you give it to what? 5, you give it to this one. You give it to this one. What? How much is remaining? You are 1, which means what? This one is not going to be satisfied. This one is not going to be what? Are you following me or not? Fair or not fair? Not fair. This is the best you could do. And best you could do to what? To make sure that you are fair among all the flows. You start with the one that is asking for what? The least. You go for the one that is asking for what? For the most. Clear? The question is, we design our policy such that it's as close or the same, or provide for what? For the maximum pair. The first one is what is known as the processor sharing. Let me use a pad. So GPS stands for what? Generalized packet sharing. I need you to understand this very carefully, because this is the one, by the way, interested in this one per se. Why? Because I cannot implement this. What I can implement is what is known, or the weighted pair queuing, which is what? Which is trying to emulate this one. So this one to be able to what? To emulate it. Clear? Okay. What is this one is saying? This one is saying divide C. What is the C? I used the C there. I should have used K here. But in any case, this C is not this. This is C is just a constant. Are you following that? This C is the capacity. Divide C by of active was N. What do I mean by? What do I mean by an active flow? An active flow is one that has what? That has packets in there. It's a buffer. Are you following me or not? Divide C by the number of active flow N. This N, each source is guaranteed at least E over N. Why do I say at least? Why do I say at least? And what is the meaning? Every one of these flows will be guaranteed. The network is going, or the processor. See them, how much share? C over N. Why do I say at least? Why do I say at least C over N? Because if the number of active flows drop below what? The remaining what? The remaining be higher or lower? If N drops. If N drops, which means what? Some flows are what? Will the other get more? That's what it means by what? They are guaranteed at least what? C over, and they are all flows. Sorry, the processor will serve an infinitesimally small amount of in each what? In each round. Let's see if, and I need to explain to you what do I mean by the word round here. Okay, these are the flows. And this is the server. What is he going to do? Listen and answer me, why is this one not implementable? Why is this one not implementable? Packets are coming in. He will serve every what? Every flow an amount of what? Data. An infinitesimally amount of data. In other words, it's even lower than a... Did you get this or not? But we are going to approximate it by just a what? A bit. Such that he is serving all of them simultaneously. Are you following me or not? If the capacity of this one is C, and if what? If these are all, then each one will be getting how much? C over N. Are you following or not? In every getting what? C over N. Yes? Now let's assume this one, these are all what? Inactive. He is getting C, the entire capacity. Did you understand that or not? Listen to me. Is there waiting here? Is there waiting? In other words, let's assume this one is empty. And suddenly a packet came. Will he start service right away? He will start. Why? Because the server is serving what? An infinitesimally amount of data from each what? So as soon as they come, they are going to be what? Served. Clear? Clear so far. And that is why what we call it what? You are sharing the what? The server processor. Are you following or not? In an infinitesimally time. In an infinitesimally amount of time. Did you get this or not? Yes or no? I need to show it to you a little bit more careful so that you understand what I'm talking about. Listen to me. Listen to me. implement this? Why? Why we cannot implement this? In reality, when a packet comes to serve what? The entire packet. You cannot serve only what? Infinitesimally amount of data from that packet. Are you followers? Let's see if you can help me here. I want you to compare the GPS with RR stands for what? Packet. Round robin. Let's see if you can help me here. Listen to me. Let's assume that I have the following. 2 flows. And let's assume there are 2 packets, yes, each of size L. The same size. Yes? They came into the what? Clear? And then we have a server serving them. And let's assume the capacity of the server is bits. This is L bits. This is L bits for what? Did you get this or not? Yes or no? Show me, first of all, the GPS. Let's see if you can tell me, and what do I have? This is the time. Tell me, what do I do? If I start service here, when will I finish? When will I finish both of them? In the first round, how much is this one going to get? He is going to get what? 1/2 the capacity. Yes. This one is what? 1/2 the capacity. Yes? Okay, which means what? In the first second, how much of this will be served? How much of this will be served? Half of it will be served. Half of it. In the second, how much will it be served? The whole thing? Yes? How does it look like? 2. I'm not sure, did you get this? Did you get this or not? Yes or no? So one more time. Here, which is being served? Or are they both served? They are both served simultaneously. Are you following me on that? Show me the RR. Show me the RR of the round robin. How does it look like? The round robin. Round robin means what? This one is going to serve 1 packet at a time. Here, how much capacity is this one getting? L, which means this one will finish in what? 1 L. This one is what? Waiting. So what do I have? Follow me. This is 1. Yes. Then what? What is this? One is doing waiting. And then when will this one finish? At 2. You get it or not? Yes or no? Exactly the same characteristic, or is this one emulating this one? Is this one trying to what? Emulate this one? Are they exactly the same characteristic? I'm not sure. Did you get the idea? Did you get? Can we implement this? We can implement this. Both packets, when will they be done? 2. In the GPS, when will they be done? 2. You agree? But are they identical? They are not identical. Are you following me on that? Processor is what? Is working on both of them simultaneously, whereas in here is what? Is 1 at a time. Are you now? Is this, look at this, is this one, is min, this one, which is the what? Which is the fair allocation. Are you following me on that? Which is the you can do. This one here does not. Why does this one does not? If a packet, see in here, what did I assume that both packets are of the same what? Length. Yes or no? If the same length, will they get the same share? If they were not of the same length, in other words, is longer than this one, are they going to get the same share? Now listen to me. Listen to me. Let's assume that we are using GPS and this one than this one. Yes? I'll show you an example in just a second. Yes or no? Okay. We at a disadvantage? If it is GPS, will this advantage? He will not be at a disadvantage. By the way, which one will finish first? Worse. This one will finish first because what? Because it happens to be what? Shorter. Yes, okay. But are they going to get the same amount of service? Every round, are they amount of service? They are going to get the same amount of service. Are you following me or not? But if it is a round robin, and this one happens to be a what? A longer packet than this one. Yes? Well, this one will be at a disadvantage. Why? Because the server will take what? Will take longer to work this one here. Are you following me or not? This one will get what? On the longer run, that one will get more than what? Than the shorter packet. Clear? Clear? Okay, so let me write this, show you what's going. Okay, so on the longer run, the byte packet round robin does not follow the max min force allocation since on the long run packets will get higher percentage of the available capacity than packets. Clear? No response. Clear? Okay. Now, so what do we want? We want a policy which is a little bit what? Fairer than this. We want to come up with a policy that does not depend on what length of the packet. In other words, just because your packet is a what? Shorter length, it does not mean that you... Here came the what? FAQ. What does FAQ stands for? Fair. And this is the most widely used scheduling procedure in the real device, in real routers. Okay, but they use what? WFQ. We will show you that in just a second. So fair queuing. Fair queuing. Now, listen to the concept first of all on the pack. Listen to the concept. In fair queuing, every packet, when a packet, first of all, in fair queuing, every flow its own buffer, logical buffer. Which means what? It means that we are going to have something that are not sharing the same what? They are not sharing the same buffer. Clear? So we have the following. This is this. Clear? This is the server. Number two, when a packet arrives in a flow, the server will what? On the side, he will calculate the what? A finishing number or a tag. Listen to what he is saying, the server. If I am implementing the processor sharing, the general processor sharing, which is what? When will this packet would have finished? When would have finished if I am implementing the what? The GPS. Did you get this on yes or no? Okay, I'll show you this in just a second. I'm not sure you got my point. Listen to the point. Assume this packet, if you would have used the generalized processor sharing, he would have finished at t equal to what? 5. Just an example. Another packet comes that would have finished if at time...
The time is 10 o'clock.
Let's assume time equal to what? 3. Yes? Serve first. The fair queuing. Which one will this one serve first? He will serve the one that would earlier if you use what? The general processor sharing. Do you understand that or not? No, don't say yes. I can tell no. So let me elaborate on it. Finishing numbers. You notice it not say finishing times. I said what? Finishing numbers. These has nothing to do with what? With the actual finishing time. This is finishing number or what? Tag. Clear? This is what? This is a number indicating a packet would have finished service, would have finished service if the ideal GPS was what? Used. Clear so far? Clear so far? The fair queuing will calculate this finishing number and will serve the packets in the order of increasing finishing starting from what? Starting from what? Lowest one. Why is that one? Why is he starting from the lowest one? He is starting from the lowest one because that would have finished what? First, if you implemented what? GPS. Implemented GPS, that packet would have finished what? First. Are you following me or not? Now, keep in mind. That in fair queuing, there is no what? What does it mean when I say there is no preemption? Which means what? If a server starts serving and another packet of a smaller finishing tag arrives, the server cannot pre-service. Are you following me on that? Yes? Yes? Which one would finish first? Which one would finish first? The packet of what? The packet is already in what? In service. Even though packet with a smaller finishing tag, has arrived because you cannot preempt. Clear? Let me ask you a question. If you are using GPS, which packet would have finished? If you would have using the GPS, which first? That other packet, the one that just arrived. Are you following me on that? Why? Because in GPS, as soon as he will get what? His share. Did you get this or not? And that is why we say what? We say is only emulating the what? Only emulating the what? The GPS. It's not exact. It's an emulation. Are you following me on that? Yes or no? But so I need to what? I need to show it to you clearly. I will give you an example in just a second. How? One more time. When we are talking about the finishing number, are we talking about finishing number? Finishing number. It has nothing to do with what? with the actual time that the packet system. I am calculating the finishing number. All what I care about is what? Is the order. Are you following me? The order. What? The packets being served by the what? Fair queuing. Clear? When you calculate the finishing number, which packet are you, sorry, which scheduler are you looking at? When you are calculating the finishing number, you are looking at S. You are not looking at what? At the fair queuing. Did you understand what I just said or not? We are looking at what? We are looking at the GPS here. Keep that in mind. Okay. Now, define the round number. I want you to understand this very carefully. R of T, the round number, which is the number of, one more time, all of this and you pertain to which scheduler? Which one? The GPS or the fair queuing? GPS. Did you understand what I just said or not? The purpose of it is to what? To calculate what is the finishing time. And then the fair queuing will serve the packets beginning with those QoS finishing tag. Did you get this or not? So it's done where? Aside. Clear? Clear? Okay. Let's see if you can help me. Of what? Cycles where every flow gets a what? Gets the same amount of service. What does this mean? What does it mean? Okay, let me write here. R of T, not necessarily so, for example, listen to this. T, at time T, R of T equal to what? 3.5. That's 3.5 means. What is 3.5 means? When I say the round number is the 3 mean. It means what? It means we have what? We have 3 rounds of what? Full service. All the active what? All the active flows received what? Yes or no? And we are in the middle of what? The 4th round or not? We are in the middle of the 4th round. Yes? When reaches an integer, what does it mean? All active flows, the same amount of what? Service. By the way, the same amount of this service because I'm assuming the weights are the same. Did you understand that? If the weights are not the same, they will not get the same amount of what? Service in every round. Clear? Okay, listen to me. The duration of the round depends on depends on the number of what? Active flows. I'm struggling here. Let me explain this one to you. This is the what? This is the server. Listen to this. Let's assume all of them are what? All of these are what? Empty. Only this one has something. When this one serves an infinitesimal amount of data, what do we say? One round is what? Completed. Did you understand that or not? A packet came in here. Yes? What do I mean by a round? I mean by a round. If there's another packet here, when this one serves what? This and this, we say what? A round has been what? Completed. Are you following me or not? Listen to me. The more there are active flows, the duration of them becomes what? Higher. Did you understand that or not? Yes or no? The more active flows, the duration of the round is what? To be what? Higher. It will take longer to what? To complete a what? A round. Ooh, so one more time. One more time. These are empty. This one will serve an infinitesimal amount of, by the way, will he give him the total capacity? will he give him, remember, will he give him the total capacity? He will give him the total capacity. He serves an infinitesimal, yes? Did we finish a round? This is one round, yes? Now, suddenly this one came. What will this one do? Will he serve both of them? He will serve both of them. When he serves both of them, what? A round is what? Is complete. Why will this one take longer than the previous round? Because each one will get what? Half the capacity. You understand that or not? Each one will get half the capacity. Yes or no? Okay. All are what? All are active. What does it mean? When this server gives what? Equal amount to every one of them, we say a what? A round is what? Completed. Yes or no? Okay. Let's see if you can help us. The round number R of t is what? QoS. Random variable, continuous variable with, will it always increase or, say that again? It always goes up. Are you following me? It always goes up. Are you following me on that? With dr of t is equal to what? Is equal to what? C over what? N is the what? What does this mean? What does this mean? Before I give you the example, what does this mean? It means the rate of increase. The rate of increase. As the numbers increase, the rate of increase will what? Decrease. It does not mean that R of t is always what? Increasing. The round of service the flows are getting will always. Are you following me or not? But the rate of increase will what? Decrease as the number of what? The number of flows increases. Clear? Clear? Okay. This is the what? Rate of increase. Clear so far? Yes? Okay. Now, the R of t is what? Piecewise linear. Do you understand what piecewise linear mean? The slope will what? This. Listen to it. Tum, tum, tum. Based on what? Based on the number of what? Active flows. Yes? Okay. Now, how do we measure? Let's define it. F I K. What is FIKT? This is the finishing number of what? Packet in flow what? I at time what? So what do we have here? We have, this is a flow I. And packet number what? K. Now listen to me. If there is, when this packet came, if he find the buffer empty, if he find empty, yes, how long will it take for him to finish? Let's assume when he came, R of t, which is the round number, was what? 3 point. Are you following me or not? Yes or no? What does it mean? It means the what? It means that the server was in the middle of what? The fourth round. And let's assume that when this packet came, the buffer was what? Empty. Will he start service right away? My dear, we are talking about GPS here. Keep that in mind. We are talking, which means what? Infinitesimal amount. Clear? Very fast. Okay. Is 1 unit long. Which round will he be done? Which round? In other words, when he came, the round number was what? 3.5. Yes? When will he be done? 4.5. Did you get this or not? So you add the what? You add the round number with the length of the packet. Did you get my point or not? Yes or no? But and he found that there is another packet ahead of him. Ahead of him. What does he, how many rounds does he have to wait? He has first of all to wait until what? Until the packet ahead of him, yes, and then what? His own. Yes or no? It's here. Let's see if you can help me. It's the maximum of what? I, k minus 1, t, r, sorry, comma, not plus, comma, r, t sub k. T sub k is the packet k. Clear? What is the round number there? Plus L, I, A, T. What is this? This is the length. Clear? Clear? It's not clear. Okay. It's not easy. I admit it's not easy. But try to understand it. Please try to understand it. Maximum. If the packet arrives, one more time, what are we talking about here? GPS or GPS? Keep that in mind. If a packet arrives into what? Into a flow. If he finds the buffer empty, will he start service right away? He will start service right away. When will he be done? At what round will he be done? He will be done what? At when he came, yes, and you add to it the what? The length of the what? Of the packet. That packet that just, remember, in every round, you are going to serve what? Just an infinitesimal amount from that packet, or not? Yes or no? So if there is what? If there is an empty, if the packet arrives, what is the finishing number? When will he be finished? At which round will he be finished? Which round will he be finished? He will be finished at what? The present round plus the length. Yes or no? So if he came, let's assume the round was what? 3. Let's assume that it was 3. It's 1. Yes? When will he be done? He will be done in round 4. Okay. But if there is a packet ahead of it, in the same flow, if there is it, what does he have to do? He have to wait and the packet that is ahead of it exit, and then he starts service. Yes? What is that? That's the maximum of these two, which means what? It will be this. What is this? F, R, K minus 1, comma T, yes or no, plus what? Plus the length of the K. Did you get this or not? Yes or no? In just a second. Let me ask a question first before I give you the example. Let me ask a question. Does the finishing number of the case packet, does it depend on the finishing future packets? Of the future packets in the same flow, does it depend? Are you following me or not? Yes or no? And listen to the next question. Does it depend on the of other packets in a different flow? No, it doesn't. And why? Why? GPS is going to serve all of them simultaneously. Are you following me on number? Does not, of the case packet, does not depend on the finishing of future packets in same flow or the finishing number of what? Of other packets in flows. Or not? Yes or no? Let's see if you can help me. Let's see if you can help me. Example. I have a what? I have two flows. One of them has what? A packet with what length? The other one has a packet with what length? 2L. Did you get this or not? This is the server. The capacity is what? L. Yes? They both arrive, these packets, at t equal to what? 0. Yes? And tell me, what is F 1, 1? What is F11 means? Means what? The first packet in flow what? 1. Yes? When he arrived, was there any packet ahead of it? What was 0? Round number was 0 plus what? The length of this packet, 1. Let's assume L is equal to what? 1. Are you following me or not? Cannot hear you. So this assume this is what? Is L bits per what? Second. Also, what is F 1? 2, 1. What is F21? Is what? Is 0 plus what? 2. Which means we'll finish. The finishing tag of this one is what? 1. The finishing tag of this one is what? 2. Or not? Yes or no? Tell me. Tell me for the GPS, and this one is the what? Is for the pair queuing. Tell me about the GPS. Tell me what is going to happen. Now, one of them is 1, the other one is of size what? 2. Yes? What do I have? What do I have? Remember, the capacity is what? Is 1. Yes? How much will this one be getting? Now, is this one going to be served simultaneously? By the one will what? Finish. When will this one finish? Yes or no? What does this one do? Did you get it or not? Yes, they being served simultaneously. How many bits did I serve in here? In 1 second, how many bits? 1/2. Yes, one will take how long to serve? 2. Yes? In 2 seconds, how many served? In 2 seconds, going to be served. Which means what? When will this one finish? Why 3? Because when this one is what? Finished, the entire capacity will be given to who? Second one. Did you get it? Cannot hear you. Tell me, which packet here, by the way? This is packet number what? 1, flow what? 2. This one is what? 1, flow what? 1. Clear? Clear? And help me. How does this one look? Queuing. Which one is going to be served first? The first one will be served first. So what do I have? This is the first one. When will he be done? When will he be done? He will be done at what? 1. Are you following me or not? Why? Because he was given to who? To the first packet. Yes. Now, what is the other packet is doing? It is waiting. Are you following me or not? Yes? Yes or no? Okay, so what do I have? The other packet is what? The other packet is what? Is waiting. Thank you. The other packet is waiting. Yes or no? When he will be done? When will he be done? The second packet. The second packet. When will he be done? At 3. Did you understand what I just said or not? You would like to put this one on top so that you don't get confused. This one here. Put it on top. Like this. So that you don't get confused. This one is packet what? Clear? Exactly the same or not the same? Is this one emulating this one? Is emulating this one? Are you following me or not? Now, when the first, in here, when did the first one exit? 1. When is the next one exit? 3. Does it have anything to do with these numbers? To do with these numbers? These numbers are just what? Are just an order, telling you what is the order. Did you get this or not? Okay. Now, if this one has a way to divide it by what? You need to divide it by what? By W, by the weight of that flow. Okay. Now, the larger is the weight. The larger is the weight. What does that mean? This one will become what? Smaller, which means what? These are the packets that will be what? Served first in the weighted pair queue. See if you can help me. Quick example. Let's assume I have two. This is L. But this one has a weight of what? 1, weight of what? 3. What does it mean? First of all, what does it mean? And let's assume, what does it mean? When I say 1 and 3, what does it mean? In every round, in every bits will be served here, infinitesimal. How many? How many of here? 3. In one round. Did you get this or not? Okay. Which means what? This one is getting what share? One is getting 3/4 of what? Of the share of the capacity. Whereas this one is getting what? 1/4. Yes? Yes or no? Help me. Help. And this is L. Let's see if you can tell me the GPS. This is the GPS. Help me. This is what? 1. When this first one will finish. Which one, by the way, will... They are of the same length. Yes? What is the finishing numbers? What is the finishing number? Is what? 1 over what? The weight is, how much is this one? 1. And this F2 is what? Which one will finish first? This one will finish first. You agree? When will this one finish? In GPS, this one, when he will be finished, at what time? You didn't get it. At what time? He is getting 3/4 of the capacity. He is getting of the capacity. Yes? When will he be finished? Yes or no? Okay. And in the meantime, how much is this one served? The first one. Remember, the service is what? Simultaneous. How much is this one served? 1/3. Yes or no? Why? Why 1/3? Can you tell me why it is 1/3? 4 over 3, getting what? 1/3 of the capacity. Yes or no? Yes or no? Then what? Please give me a minute. Let me sketch this. He be done. This is in the pair queue. Which one will be served first? Which one will be served first? Served first. Yes? When will he be done? Why? The LL, the entire capacity. The other one is what? Waiting. When will this one first? 2. Or did you get this? First of all, is this identical to this or not? Or just emulating? Just you understand why it's this 1/3 before I closes? Did you understand why it is 1/3? Why is this one? He is, how long is it? 1. He is getting only what? 3/4 of the capacity. To finish, how long does he take? 4 over what? 3 or no? Okay. During that time, how many of these were served? Only been served. Yes? At that time, the entire capacity is given to what? To this guy. Yes? To here. From here to here is what? 2/3. And from here to here is what? 2/3. Which means that's the entire capacity. Clear? But we ran out of time. Next time I will example. Did you get this or not? Did you get it or not? Not sure. Cut me off, cut me off.